Hi everyone, this is Jason here with Best Bonsai, and I'm going to go ahead and go over trimming my Chinese elm here. I did a previous video about the timing of trimming when your shoots start growing out, like the new growth starts coming in on your Chinese elms. You want to trim them back to 2 or 3 sets of new leaves. The trick though is you want to let the shoots grow out long enough before you trim them back to 2 or 3 sets of new leaves, so that the place where you're trimming it at the base is hardwood. So if you have a hardwood base, it's going to ramify from that point, meaning split, just like the branch underneath that you see here, or this one here. See, I had 2 sets, and then I trimmed it there, and then it split to 2 sets of new growth. So once those shoots grow out long enough where there's hardwood at the base, I'll trim it there and get another split. So it results in finer ramification, meaning more branching, meaning you have a primary branch, secondary branches, your third set of branches, and so on and so forth, to create a more intricate branching structure. In other words, deciduous branch structure. So we have these shoots down here. As you can see at the base where I'm going to trim, the wood has went from new soft growth to hardwood. So I can go ahead and trim it right there at that point and know that it'll split from that point. Oh, clippers need to be sharpened. All right, same with the other branch. See? So now from that point, it will ramify. You even have a little new growth on here coming out, those back budding. So we'll go ahead and go to that. I left them out in the rain, so they're dull. I'm going to sharpen them in a second. Take that down to its base. See, I had to grow 6 sets of leaves further than the point where I'm trimming it to get that base hardened. The longer you let the shoots grow out, actually, the better, because the thicker that base will be. So you get taper in the branches. So it's better to let the shoots grow out actually as long as possible. But I want to go ahead and get the tree to have some denser foliage, and it also allows for you to get smaller leaf size. The length between the internodes of the branches is directly proportional to how big the leaves will be, how big your foliage will be. Often the base, as you train it more, the leaves at the base will be considerably smaller, so you can develop much smaller growth. Because that's what it's all about, right? Fine, dense foliage and good ramification makes for more aesthetically pleasing trees. So that's what we're doing. It's just along with what looks good. Take that one down to there. And then we have this long shoot back here. Oh, these scissors are killing me. Okay, I just have to go 1 leaf back now because my clippers are not sharp. Always sharpen and clean your tools, people. Do as I say, not as I do. See that this is a good example of one that I'm going to go ahead and wait because that's too soft, too thin. What'll happen if I trim that, nothing terrible, but what will happen is the growth will just grow back. I probably won't get a split like I did down here on this secondary branch here. You see the ramification in action there. But I'm not going to go and trim this back now because I want to get denser wood at the bottom of this branch. So I let it grow out to about 10, 12 sets of leaves, and then I'll trim it back to 2 or 3. You also get a good view here of how the bottom 3 leaves are much smaller, and the longer I let this grow out, the bigger the leaves will get on the shoots. Much like ficus. Ficus also responds this way. This branch is an example of one where I probably trimmed that back when I was first styling the bonsai because this branch was far too long, but it didn't ramify, or that shoot was far too long and I didn't want it to grow out past the edge of the pot. So I trimmed it back right there before it was probably hardwood. So what happened is we just got one shoot growing back out. So I'm going to let that one grow nice and long so that I can trim it there. Boom. And get 2 branches at that point. Okay, a lot of these have to grow out longer. I can get this one. This one's already ramified here. So 1, 2, and we have hardwood at the base, even though that shoot's not very long, which is good. Meaning the tree is already responding to the training. This is a good example. This is really what you should wait for. That is very good hardwood on these back branches here. As you can see, the leaves are nice and dark, they're mature. So I can go ahead and shorten that branch. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this one back because that will encourage back budding. I changed my mind. And here. I want to keep the leaves miniature on this elm. This is softwood, but I want it to back bud. And I got about one more right here. Alright, so it got its little haircut. And now we're gonna wait probably till if I get a lot of growth and the heat goes through fall, I may trim sometime in fall, but most likely I'm probably gonna let it go until the beginning of spring, because here in South Florida, you know, really we have year-long growth. So I missed one. This long shoot here. Then another one here. Here, this one is way hardened, much harder than I would prefer. In fact, you see the separate space there between the small leaves and the big leaves? Let me get a better view for you guys. You could see the space, and you can see how hardened it's developed. So that's a real good branch. So I can go ahead and take that back all the way to there. So we have this is also hardwood. This is hardwood that even has a little bud of new growth at the tip. But I again want shorter internodes, so I'm going to take it back to here. Alright guys, that's a little update on trimming your Chinese or Japanese elms. This applies to pretty much all elms. So you can pretty much use it for cork bark elms, Japanese elms, Chinese elms, really any elm, almost any deciduous tree. You could use this technique for ficus, for any type of boxwood. Cerezas, I also use this same trimming technique. Unlike junipers, which you pinch back needles to leave stronger ones. So you don't even use scissors when you're trimming junipers, you just pinch back certain needles. This one I'm just letting the tips grow a lot longer, and then I'll pinch them back to shorten the length of the tips and encourage back budding. That's what we're looking for with junipers, is to encourage budding on the bases of the branch. That's basically the purpose for trimming, for pinching back those weak shoots to create stronger shoots and encourage new growth closer to the base of the trunk. Alright everyone, so that's different deciduous, and then you have evergreen. So an elm is a deciduous tree, and a juniper, pine, those are all evergreen varieties. And ficus would be semi-deciduous evergreen. Okay, everyone, signing out from Best Bonsai. Cheers.